Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry to interrupt the rant of the week.
Oh, it's all right. There's two more.
Computer running slow? Has your machine somehow acquired a life of its own?
It's alive!
Or do you simply desire a deeper and more meaningful connection? Be one with your operating system. It's Arizona's computer guru, Mike Swanson, and his show starts now. Listen in, chat in, and watch live streaming at gurushow.com. Want your voice to be heard? Call in with your questions and riddles. The number is 520-790-2040. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030, KVOI, The Voice.
Welcome to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. That's 520-790-2040. We've recently released this, we finally got enough subscribers on the YouTube channel that we can do some of the cool features we want to do with it, like lay out the page a little bit differently, get a custom URL.
Yes.
Properly monetize it. All of these very cool things that we can do now with YouTube. And if you're not familiar, we've been pushing all of the podcasts up to YouTube also. So there's episodes of this show, at least for the last 2 years, that we're trying to push all up there. But we created a new section, which is going to be little snippets from the shows where I lose my mind in some way. And just by what's in the news, there's going to be probably 2 or 3 segments from today's show that are going to make it into that. So it's going to be great. It's going to be grand. It's going to be fun. So if you want your free hour of tech support, you need to call in 790-2040, because otherwise it's going to be me losing my mind about.
People do like that, though. I've heard feedback of people saying, "Where's the rants? I like when Mike is ranting."
Yeah, the last really good rant was the Verizon rant on the previous radio station that we were on, where it was in such a rant that I had 3 people from Verizon corporate call me after the show, all wanting to step on the other one to apologize. And I got pretty angry with Verizon a few years ago, and let them have it. But today this is more of a on that one, Verizon made me mad. They upset me personally, and on this particular one, at least the one that we're going to start with, it's more along the lines of there are people that are being taken advantage of, and it happens all day long. And there's a certain demographic of people that are more likely to be taken advantage of, and that's going to be mostly the demographics of this radio station, actually. Where you have the slightly older generation, not exactly super tech savvy, which is why this show exists, and they get calls or letters from people and they fall for it, and they end up giving away money. They end up giving away their identities or their credit scores or just cash. All right, so this is one of those things where there needs to be some attention called to it. Now, the other side of this is the demographics that listen to this station are also the ones that I sort of rail against in certain instances, where you have a slightly older generation that isn't exactly all that tech savvy, but they're kind of here or there. The saying, "I know just enough to be dangerous," comes to mind. But there are also the ones that in that demographic that are responsible for creating laws. They're also the ones that might potentially be, involved with Pima County as far as creating laws, or the state of Arizona. And that bothers me too, right? Because there's a certain amount of, at least get your facts straight. And so there's about 4 different stories that we're going to talk about today, and they're all kind of have a common thread if you want to look for it, which is that there's people that are taking advantage of ignorance. And the first one that we're going to talk about is the state of Arizona has put forth a law for the governor to either approve or veto, which would essentially require that the chief information officers of Arizona agencies, right? So whoever's involved or in charge of the technology for like Arizona DMV and various other state agencies would be required to push their information into the cloud rather than having their own data centers. And there's a possibility of jail time if you don't. And this bothers me on a couple of different reasons. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the reasons why it's probably it could be considered a good idea, which would be, well, it could save some money on heating and cooling, basically, or cooling for data centers, the electricity that's used by state data centers. And it's not like they're going to, they have enough, right? They're always going to build more. So there's the possibility they could push their information off to like Google or Amazon or one of these other cloud services and let them foot the bill for electricity, sort of. Problem is that you're going to end up paying for that also as a taxpayer. Not only you're paying for that electricity, because as far as I know, Amazon isn't losing any money on data centers. And beyond that, there's a profit margin to be paid for also. I can't see it saving us any money as taxpayers.
Right.
Beyond that, they're saying that it's more secure. Well, I urge you to take a look at, iCloud, as far as a massive data breach a year and a half ago. LinkedIn, which is one of the stories that we have in today's news, where they said it originally was 60 million?
6 million.
6 million, and now it's
117 million.
117 million, right. So there's a huge disparity between how secure you think something is versus how secure it actually is. And let's not forget the primary rule here when it comes to cloud computing. The cloud is someone else's computer. It's nothing more than somebody else has a bunch of computers that you're allowed to save stuff to. It is not some vastly different new technology that is safer than anything else.
Oh, you mean it's not like Willy Wonka and a million pieces floating above our heads?
It is not.
No?
No, it's just somebody else's computer. So do you feel more secure as someone who may be in charge of data? Do you feel safer having your data under lock and key, sort of where you have it? Now, as far as I'm concerned, most of the sensitive government things should be air-gapped anyway, as far as they should not be connected to the open internet. And in a lot of cases, they aren't, right? Currently, the DMV system works on its own private network. How many hacks do you hear about in DMV of people like changing their driving record or any of that stuff, or the credit bureaus for that matter? How many people are hacking in there and changing their credit scores? None. Right? You never hear about that. Not that it would really be all that newsworthy anyway, but they keep their systems off of the internet. And so when you're pushing something to the cloud, you're adding a layer of risk by making it outward facing, by making it so that the internet is the only way to get there. And there is no distance on the internet. I just totally don't understand why this is such a hard concept for a lot of politicians and lawmakers to understand. There is no distance on the internet. It's not like you're saying, well, we're going to put it in the cloud and then nobody can get to it. And it's just like, come on, man. It's right now, the way you've got it set up right now, it's such a small target. It requires such a special and unique way to get there that it's the road less traveled. And you put it out on the internet, then there's none of that. There's no protection in obscurity. It bothers me. And we're going to send you to jail if you don't put your stuff on the cloud. What?
Yeah, that's a little harsh.
Have you lost your mind? All right. First of all, all right. So this is one of those things that bothers me about a lot of corporations, especially large corporations that are not tech based. And Arizona, in this particular case, is acting like that. They're saying, You know, I heard once while playing golf with a buddy of mine that, you know what we should do? We should have all of our passwords be 2 digits long and numbers only. You know, it says it saves him a lot of money, a lot of time. You know, it makes his people more productive. They don't have to waste all that extra 4 seconds putting in a longer password. So, we're going to make a policy that says that all passwords are going to be 2 digits long and numbers only in order to save some money. And the security guy, the IT person is going to be like, I don't think that's a good idea, boss. Don't think that's a good idea because, well, it's dangerous. And the guy's going to be like, I don't give a crap about dangerous. I give a crap about saving money. And so we're going to weaken the entire process because I heard about it from a buddy on a golfing course. And there's no real expert input here. There's nobody going, excuse me, Arizona, you might want to consider that when you put stuff out on the internet, it is less secure than when you have it in your own physical data center. Now, don't get me wrong. The people that work, especially in state agencies, I'm not even going to single out ours. I'm just going to say that people that tend to work in state agencies tend not to maybe pay attention to all the rules because who's checking up on them, right? There's nobody really checking up on them. Not to mention that their systems right now, nobody really cares about. So there's a whole lot of weakness. I posted a video on YouTube or on Facebook earlier this week about people breaking into substations of electric companies and breaking into the network and then taking over remotely these electric substations so they could shut off neighborhoods. And it was a very interesting watch. All right, and they were hired by this particular electric company to do these tests to find out how easy is it to take over the grid. And they did it in like 6 days. You know, they jumped over fences, broke open some doors, found a bunch of credit card information, installed their software, even had conversations with the security guards, right? They're just like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. So there is a lot of lax behavior when it comes to security when you're dealing with agencies, with anyone really. So, yes, they could do some improving on their own internal security methods, but I think the idea of saying, you should probably put this out on the cloud, which is proven to be not as secure as everybody wants it to be, under risk of jail time, it's ridiculous. And it's not going to save them the money that they're using as an excuse. It's not going to work.
If you want to legitimately save money.
Yeah, if you want to legitimately save some money, you can go to Perfection Auto Works, perfectionautoworks.com. They are our sponsor this week, and I know we're a little late on getting to their thing, but, you know.
Ranty Saturday.
Oh, yeah, it's just wait till the next segment. Oh, it's going to get worse. But check out Perfection Auto Works. They got a new website, perfectionautoworks.com. They do a 26-point inspection for free. It's getting hot outside. You got to get your vehicle checked for the summer. Is it ready? Well, you can find out. Give them a call. Take your car down there. I'm sure your car will love you for it. We'll be right back.
Whether you're dealing with hardware installation or, heaven forbid, a virus,
No!
Mike Swanson is answering all your questions one by one. So call in or chat in with yours. The website, gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030 KVOY The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show.
All right, let's talk about Windows 10 for a minute.
Here we go.
Okay.
This is going to be a fun one.
This one's not as bad, but all right. As you know, Windows 10 is being a little forceful with the way that they're
Just a tad, yeah.
Well, they have been. Now they've taken it to a whole new level.
Kicked it up a notch.
Yeah. So you know that little window that pops up and says, "Hey, Windows 10 is ready." Well,
You're
now,
like, nah.
and you've been clicking on that X to close it. Just be like, I don't want to deal with this right now. Well, as of the last batch of updates, that little X means, yeah, go ahead and update my machine. They're like, you don't care? We don't care. We're just going to go ahead and update your machine for you anyway.
And the thing is, they actually tell you, you just don't pay attention. It says if you click OK on the red X, you're all set for the upgrade and there is nothing further to do. But you're not paying attention because it's been popping up.
Right?
It's like the greatest troll of all time.
It's awesome. All right, so do you want a way to not have Windows 10 updates on your computer? Now, we talked about this last week a little bit with there's an update that you can remove, but it keeps coming back. Right, that every time you run a Windows update, it gets that update again, then starts the whole process over, this time more forcefully than last. So the guys at the shop sent me a link. Go to ultimateoutsider.com/downloads, and there's something called GWX Control Panel, which will allow you to effectively permanently disable the Windows 10 upgrade if you want to.
Now, personally, I really like Windows 10. So I don't know why you wouldn't upgrade. I upgraded both my, all 6 of my computers.
Well, this is obvious pandering for me, right?
Yeah,
because
it kind of ticks me off too.
For me telling you how to stop this upgrade is sort of a pandering to the listeners. Mm-hmm. My professional opinion is you don't have a choice. Just do the upgrade, be done with it, and start getting used to the new way. Right, this is the way things are. Microsoft is obviously incredibly serious about you're not going to be in Windows 7 anymore. We're done with this. And they have a bunch of different reasons as to why you shouldn't be. Specifically, lots of security concerns.
Yeah.
So these security concerns, they really want you in Windows 10.
So just do it.
Like right now. Yeah. Don't let your 7 be 7.
Or XP.
Oh, geez. You're out of luck if you're in XP. If you're in Vista or XP, I feel for you.
I feel for you.
You got 99 other problems, and that ain't one.
I'm not getting on that one.
So, my professional opinion is go ahead and do the Windows 10 upgrade. Just get it over with. You know, be okay with the way that the world is now. So
that link again is, he's got to pull it up.
You really want me to do it again?
Just one more time.
ultimateoutsider.com/downloads. And you're looking for GWX Control Panel. You know, if they were watching this on the YouTube channel later, they can just go back and play it again.
Yeah, there you go. YouTube.
Then I don't have to, repeat myself. But I have been told that I speak too quickly.
At times, yeah.
Especially when I've slammed a monster before the show.
Well, and you did that today. So there we go.
Yeah, so ultimateoutsider.com/downloads.
Yes.
Plural.
With the S.
With the S on there. Otherwise, you won't find it. But it's a tool that can be used to turn off those updates.
It's kind of messed up that they included the red X because they know everybody's closing it. So they're like, okay, well, we'll just integrate that into the OK button. That's messed up. I mean, I'm totally for upgrading to 10 because 10 is really nice. And it's funny to me that they would put that up there. It's really, guys? Come on, Microsoft. Really?
Do you know who Voltage Pictures is?
No.
How about you, Kent? You know who Voltage Pictures is?
I do not.
Have you ever seen The Hurt Locker?
No.
Yes.
I haven't seen like 99%.
Dallas Buyers Club?
No.
I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to Kent now.
Okay, fine.
Oh.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
You don't know anything about pop culture.
I haven't watched like 99.99% of movies.
All right, so Voltage Pictures. They're the people who made The Hurt Locker or distributed The Hurt Locker and Dallas Buyers Club. And they are now one of those companies that are more famous for suing you for downloading it.
Oh, they're one of those people.
Yeah. So there's a couple of companies that are like copyright trolls. Mm-hmm. One of which being Voltage Pictures, the other one being something called Malibu Media. And they are interesting in the fact that they have managed to find people's IP addresses. right? They've managed to say, well, we found your IP address downloading a copy of this particular movie, so they send you a letter and they say, you're guilty of this. If you'd like to settle out of court, please send us thousands of dollars. Otherwise, we're taking you to court. And here's our track record of quashing other people, all right, of making sure that they have paid you or paid us for this movie. So they have this reputation that is that they're hardcore. And here's the problem with their reputation. It's based on weakness. It's based on the weakness of the fact that people get this letter in the mail, and this is where I was talking about earlier, where people get taken advantage of. Let's say, as an example, and this is a true story, is that there's an 86-year-old man living in Canada who has a very old PC that's plugged directly into a cable modem, has no Wi-Fi. His machine is off at night because, well, he's old and he shuts everything off at night. And his machine's just, there's no way that there's somebody else using his connection. He received a letter from Voltage Pictures demanding $10,000 for the downloading of the Dallas Buyers Club. One, he has no interest in the Dallas Buyers Club. Second, he has no way that he downloaded. His machine doesn't have any of the downloading stuff on there, and he wouldn't understand how to do it in the first place. However, he's one of those people that ended up paying money to Voltage Pictures because he got a threatening legal letter in the mail because they had an IP address, and in this particular case was wrong. The IP address information was inaccurate. And somebody else, because IP addresses change, by the way. If you are a residential cable or internet subscriber, your IP address changes from time to time, and every once in a while, you'll end up with the IP address of somebody who's doing something horrible, who previously had it.
You okay?
Yeah, this is where I have to just keep from screaming. So you end up with somebody who is completely innocent of any of this stuff, being taken advantage of by a bully, by being pushed because they get a letter in the mail. We've complained about infringement trolls before, right? But this is on a personal level. This is one of those things where you've got a corporation who's supposed to be a movie distributor, and they spend all this time and money just bullying people into paying them, and they're asking for $4,000 to $10,000 for just because they have an IP address. And never mind the fact that in most courts, many courts have determined that a simple IP address is not enough information to prove that person was involved. And then you have people like Malibu Media, who's a similar company, just like Voltage, who goes after people who are downloading movies. And if you could see the air quotes on this, their expert, all right, is this guy who, this guy, he basically saw a picture of this dude's computer setup and said, look at that all-in-one AOC computer. And that wasn't disclosed to us as a computer at the beginning of this trial, and he made this big deal about it and blew this particular court case up to be this thing where this guy was hiding information. He said because the information wasn't there, because there was no evidence, was proof of guilt, because they were doing such a good job of hiding it.
Oh my God.
All right, and first of all, let's not even gloss over the fact that AOC had their quote-unquote expert even gone to the AOC website. They don't make computers. They only make monitors. And it's like, how stupid do you have to and here's the thing with these companies. These companies, they go and they're hiring these idiots that are like, well, guess what? I'm an expert. And I'm gonna go ahead and set the record straight. And they're setting the record straight to potentially a jury of people who also don't understand technology, who wouldn't be able to look at that picture and go, oh, well, that's not a computer at all, doofus. Right? So these people are being convinced by an expert that somebody is guilty for information that is completely untrue. And it's just like, there should be a standard. There should be a bar that has to be reached that says that you are smart enough to understand the technology you're looking at, especially when it comes to a criminal case where you're convincing other people that someone is guilty. It is so dumb.
On that note, I think we should probably take a break, and we have a couple calls after the break.
No, we'll do a call first. Let's go ahead and
Okay.
get this. Let me de-stress a little bit, and we'll go ahead and talk to. Oh, Bill dropped off.
Bill
We'll
left.
get Jeff in. Let's throw Jeff in here. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I'm good. Sorry to interrupt the rant of the week.
Oh, it's all right. There's two more.
Good. We love them.
What's going on, Jeff?
Hey, I got two questions for you, Mike. First of all, I remember you saying, I think it was last week or the week before, that external hard drive for backup. If you get something on your normal machine, it'll back it up to the external hard drive, like a virus or a whatever.
Potentially,
I was thinking, yeah. Is there a way that to make a switch, like if I make a backup every Sunday, that the thing comes on and off? I know you can physically unplug it, but I'll never remember that. Is there anything that you've heard of that could accomplish that?
You mean as far as logically turning a drive off?
Yeah,
On
so
a
you
schedule?
don't have, so it's not live until you have the backup time?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, because that would just confuse the regular user. And I can't think of anything that I've seen. I mean, you could build a scheduled script that like took away the drive letter and then turned it back on every so often. Because you can do
Sounds
all of that from the
complicated.
command prompt. So you could disable the drive or re-enable it via schedule. But I can't think of anything that I've seen out there that would automatically do that.
Okay. I've got one more question if you got a second.
Go ahead, quick.
All right. K9, OpenDNS web filters. I've heard some people recommend those for added safety along with the malwarebytes and virus. Are they worth exploring that, changing the DNS thing to be, safer, or you get a lot of false positives, or is it a pain, or what do you recommend?
I think it's unnecessary. I mean, the only time that I could ever recommend any type of DNS filtering is for like parental controls, which is where K9 actually started, right? They're a parental control company. So, I mean, if you're interested in limiting the amount of internet that's available to you, that's might be worth doing. I just don't like the idea of having training wheels or blinders. So, I mean, if I want to be able to see the internet, I want to be able to see it, and I don't think that K9 has any right getting in my way. So,
Do they help against ransomware and stuff like that? Was my thought on
not really. Almost all of that stuff comes through email anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think they really help with that. And speaking of ransomware, by the way, the ransomware, the amount of detection of ransomware, the new variants are doubling every month exponentially. So, yeah, you guys got to be careful. Have a backup. Holy crap, you need a backup. So, but yeah, I don't think that those DNS filters are useful.
Okay.
Unless
I
you're doing-
appreciate your opinion and love your show, and I'll let you get back to the other two rants, we promise.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. We'll be right back after these messages and my blood pressure goes down.
Your computer guru, Mike Swanson, is here to help you tame that beast of a machine. Join the chat right now at gurushow.com or call in. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOY, The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOI, The Voice.
Some more examples of bullying in the media. And one of these things that's just bothering me is the whole idea that because you're this larger entity that you can just take advantage of people just bothers me. And the same thing that even not larger entities, as an example, just preying on people and their inherent weaknesses, like the people that call claiming to be from Microsoft that want to fix your computer because they know that it's totally broken is ridiculous. And that's another one of those things that I encourage you, if those people call you, you give them my phone number, right? It's because what we'll do is we'll just keep them on the phone for 2 hours, right? Allowing them to try to fix the computer that, and then they'll just waste their time. And I think that everyone, if you get those calls that claim to be from Microsoft or from the Publishers Clearinghouse, which is another one that's out there, where they will call you and you just have to set up, a proper account transfer for your $1.3 million or whatever they're going to give you. Just waste their time. Waste their time as much as possible. If you have the time to spend, just keep repeating the things back to them. All right, say they give you instructions. Take those instructions and then repeat them back to them with one thing wrong every time. Right? And make them repeat themselves like 20 times until they finally just lose their mind and hang up on you. And because you probably save 2 other people if you can keep them on for that long from being taken advantage of. Just waste as much time as there as possible for them to make it totally worthless for them to call. It's the only way that we're going to stop these guys, right? They're crazy as far as their tactics. And then you should hear the conversations that they will have with you, by the way. They really get really mad if you waste their time, and they start screaming at you with obscenities, and it's awesome. It's so worth it. Just to hear that dude lose his mind, that's the payoff. Just waste as much time as possible until they start cursing at you. And then you've won. That's how you deal with those people.
That
It's all
sounds
about
like
the win.
Yeah.
sounds like how the entire internet works.
Right.
For all of the internet comments, that's it, right there.
And Tara made me laugh during the break.
I'm sorry.
So then, the sort of dissipated my ranty energy, but who knows? It may come back before the end of the show.
It probably will.
What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
We've got a lot in the show notes that is ranty worthy.
All right, let's talk about bullying in the media still. How about Fox? Now, this is both a something that I need to take up with both Fox in this particular case and YouTube. Because if you are one of the people that happens to do a lot of YouTube viewing, you might have heard of this hashtag that's been going around that's called "Where's the Fair Use?" Mm-hmm. And yeah, so there's a provision in the law that's called fair use, which allows you to take copyrighted materials and use them in such a way that for either critique or mockery or explanation, you can use that copyrighted information, that media, that whatever it is, you can use that in your own video as long as you are being somehow transformative or providing some type of a social commentary or comedy about that particular piece of copyrighted material. Fair use is one of those things that it seems fairly well documented. Now, there's a lot of gray area on whether or not someone is actually being mocking or actually being transformative to that particular work. But there are times where, in this case, YouTube and their little automatic algorithms go just a little bit too far. Or, in this particular case, where Fox decides, hey, that's part of our show now. So there was a video that was on YouTube, mm-hmm. and it was a Let's Play. Now, if you don't know what a Let's Play is, it's sort of like a, hey, I'm going to play this video game, and you're going to see me playing it, and I will provide some type of commentary. Mm-hmm. In this particular case, they were highlighting a glitch in a game. What was the game on that?
It's the original Nintendo game, Double Dribble.
All right. So with the Double Dribble game, somebody had found a glitch, mm-hmm. and wanted to show the world this glitch that they had found, so they recorded it.
Yep, and they showed the world in 2009 and put it on YouTube.
Right, so they put it on YouTube in 2009. Well, it was apparently interesting enough that Family Guy, a Fox show, used that clip.
This past Sunday.
Yeah.
So almost a week ago.
Yeah, used the clip in their episode and showed it. And then DCMA'd the original video for copyright infringement, even though Family Guy stole the clip and basically is took this dude's video offline for stealing a bit of Family Guy.
That's ours now.
Yeah, that's ours. Yep. We now own that video. See you later.
And the only reason that they probably got away with it is it's a no-name YouTuber person. And they're still not really getting away with it because, it's a week later and people are ticked off about it.
Right, and this is, there's been a lot of heat boiling in YouTube anyway about the fair use stuff and about how there is some type of algorithm that is built into YouTube that identifies parts or snippets of big name shows. And this is basically
mostly music.
Right, and this is YouTube's fear, basically. This is their fear showing through, where they're afraid of being sued by like Viacom or Sony or these giant companies, even though YouTube is technically bigger than all of them. Mm-hmm. They're afraid of being sued over copyright infringement to the extent that they are gun shy, and they've built this algorithm that looks for little bits of as little as 2 seconds
yes.
of a music video.
It's a real pain in the butt.
And it will automatically shut the video down and be like, this is copyright infringement.
I've had 5 videos shut down for copyright infringement.
For music?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, 2 of them, the licensors actually agreed to let me keep the music, but the other ones, not so much. So I ended up just leaving it and then putting a comment saying, yeah, they said no. It's silent now.
Here's one of those moments where I'm going to go ahead and do something that I generally don't do, which is I'm going to teach you how to get around the YouTube automatic canceling based on music, which is you slow it down or speed it up by 5%. And then mathematically it doesn't fit anymore. Mm-hmm. And will not get flagged automatically. And the whole point of this, though, is that Fox has no right, and I don't think they did.
No.
I think it's so obscure that Fox would not have done that. I'm thinking this is an automatic YouTube thing, and YouTube needs to get its stuff together, right? It needs to start paying attention to its content creators rather than kowtowing to these larger media entities. Now, you'll notice that one of the through lines that we're dealing with is media entities today because they're abusive in their power. We've talked about the music industry in the past. We've talked about a lot of video industries in the past, but their lawyers are allowed to get away with whatever by using the magic word copyright. And I think that there's something that needs to be done with the fact that people don't understand copyright. And unfortunately, the people who don't understand it the most are the people who are making the claims in the first place. As an example, there's this terrible, terrible movie. It's the worst movie ever made, basically.
If I've actually seen this movie, I might laugh.
I can't remember the name of it now. It's about this cat. Right, and some dude dressed up in a furry outfit, and he's trying to teach kids about bullying. It's just a terrible, terrible movie.
Okay.
And during the break, I'll look it up and I'll get the name of it. But so somebody did a review of this online, and they said this is the worst movie I've ever seen. And they showed a couple of snippets of it and explained why it was terrible. Like some of the advice was really like, oh no, don't worry about getting an adult, don't tell somebody you're being bullied or abused or anything, just suck it up, no big deal. And it was just terrible advice. It was a terrible movie. It was terribly done. And so the dude did a review on it, and the original the writer and producer of this movie lost his mind and took down a bunch of channels on copyright ground, and it turned into a giant lawsuit over a bunch of YouTube creators saying this is fair use and you don't understand how copyright works, so stick it. And it turned into like a 6-month-long battle, and that's actually one of these things that started this there's this trend on YouTube right now about the whole where's the fair use, because there's a bunch of things that are unfair because people don't understand copyright, and the people who don't understand it are the people who are making the claims in the first place. It's dumb. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back.
Computer troubles? Need some advice? Call in now. Mike Swanson will be back after these messages. The Computer Guru Show, AM 1030, KVOY, The Voice. Your technology guru, Mike Swanson, is answering all your questions one by one.
Yes, science!
So chime in with yours. The website is gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show.
So the name of that movie is Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
Oh, man. He just showed me a trailer.
Right, there's
The
a trailer
trailer.
for it. We got 40 seconds into it before we just couldn't watch it
I
anymore.
could not deal.
It's terrible. By the way, I encourage you all to watch it just so you can understand just how terrible,
It's really bad.
terrible that movie is. And you might be inspired to create your own, movie review and put it on YouTube and just anger this guy.
We should make do a push, social media push. Everyone make a review for this
Everyone
movie.
make a terrible review for Cool Cat Saves the Kids. And
Mine will just be, I couldn't make it 40 seconds into the trailer.
it's got Eric Estrada in it, and he's drunk.
He's
So,
very
there
drunk.
you go. Yeah, if you
I
wanna
guess you would have to be drunk to be in this movie because it's terrible.
and Vivica Fox,
Yeah, I don't know what she was doing it. Bored.
I guess. All right, so yeah, there's a lot of bullying that's going on out there in the world when it comes to online bullying, and you would think, all right, when you hear that term, online bullying, you would think that there's some person who is just making the world not pleasant for some poor sap, and that there's something should be done about this. And I think that applies equally to, I don't think that the music industry and the movie industry have I don't think they have the right to be bullies themselves. And I think that they should stop. And I think that there's a certain amount of ignorance that is out there that industries like the cloud industry take advantage of, and they go golfing with important people, and they bully everyone into doing their bidding through the legal system. And so there needs to be a little more wild, wild west when it comes to the internet and technology, because it turns out that the person that's running your network, the person that is in charge of securing your data, probably knows more than that lawmaker. Probably understands why they're doing things the way that they are, because they want to keep you safe. And so there's a certain amount of know who your experts are. And we're not talking about like that expert who confused a monitor with a computer, right? That's just, by the way, I wonder how much, does it pay to be an expert witness? They should call me.
There you go.
Right? Because I will straighten them out, and they'll have to be like, I'm a hostile witness. It's so, I cannot stand ignorance in the capacity of power, right? And it's one of those things that bothers me the most is when this ignorance is pervasive. If it's so, you can't be spreading that. That was the whole reason I started the show, right? I was listening to another show. They're giving the wrong answers. I lost my mind and just went down to a radio station, the closest one, and said, I need a show right now. And it's just like, please stop with the dumb. The dumb needs to stop is really what it comes down to. All right, let's mention our sponsors.
Desert Pro Commercial Cleaning LLC. You can find them at TucsonDesertPro.com.
Yep, go to patreon.com/Guru Show, and if you give us enough money, we'll make Tara say anything you want within reason.
I'll do it.
That's the new thing. And also thanks to Perfection Auto Works. Be sure to visit our website at azcomputerguru.com or give us a call at 304-8300. We'll see you next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Computer Guru Show. If you did, please consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Your subscription helps us reach new audiences and expand the show in new directions. Please also consider supporting us on Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can help the Computer Guru Show expand into a longer format, as well as support the production of new content for this channel. Links are in the description below, and thank you again. We'll see you next week.